Welcome back to Friday Night Live. This is our Christmas edition. It's a week from Christmas Eve here on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio Network and our flagship ESPN 1700 The Champ.
What time are we going to start singing? Some carols?
You're quite the crooner at the office. Maybe we'll have you crack out Silent Night. People probably like to silence us. Silent Night a little bit later in the show there. We're brought to you by Hy-Vee. Of course, Hy-Vee proudly supporting the student athletes, coaches, officials, and teachers of Iowa's high schools. And our great Hy-Vee partners like Gillette, the best a man can get. Land O'Lakes, trust the name, where simple goodness begins, and now available at your Des Moines area. Hy-Vee's, Wheaties, the breakfast of champions. Nestle Candy, Butterfinger, Nestle's Crunch, Kit Kat bars, all available at Hy-Vee. And, of course, Barkeeper's Friend. We got a couple of the products right here in the studio. And, Tony, in the 10 o'clock hour, you'll be scrubbing down the studio with this Superior Cleanser for...
Disinfectant?
Yes.
That's good.
Since Benny left now, and we're all going to get sick.
No, I hope not.
All right, let's shift gears, continue our conversations on wrestling. And he's the expert. He's kind enough to join us every Friday night. He's Wyatt Schultz from the Predicament. How are you, Wyatt?
Well, not too bad. We're here in Waterloo at Young Arena at the Battle of Waterloo, so it's been a pretty good day.
The Battle of Waterloo.
There's a lot of things going on there. Talk about that, Wyatt, to those who are just listening. A lot of great wrestling teams out there with some great wrestlers. Should be a fun weekend.
Oh, it's going to be a great weekend. If people aren't familiar with the format, it's a 32-team dual tournament with four 8-team brackets, and then the champions of all those brackets will wrestle in a round robin tomorrow. And so you'll find a true champion around here, and they wrestle all the way out to 32nd place. So every team here gets 6 duels.
And it's not just teams from Iowa; they're from around the Midwest, are they not, Wyatt?
No, this is just an Iowa tournament.
This is an Iowa tournament. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and there's the dual rankings just came out. There's 15 ranked teams out of all 3 classes that are here, so it's a great tournament. All 3 returning state champs are back, team champions. So it's a great little tournament up here in Waterloo.
Well, we know one guy from Waterloo West that had a little bit of success in wrestling. So Waterloo certainly rich in tradition when you start with Dan Gable, who's become, the founding father of a lot of great wrestling coaches across the state of Iowa and America.
Yeah, that's right. And each of these pools or brackets is named after 2 of the great wrestlers out of the Waterloo area. And, of course, it's the Gable-Siddons pool, Pool B. And so they have a couple out of Waterloo West, Waterloo East, Columbus High School, and then the Waterloo area contributors for the great sport of wrestling.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. Now, you got to tell me, as far as the fans go, with all these teams moving in and out of there, the fans, is it kind of like the old days at Vets Auditorium, the fans moving in, moving around to get to their matches and then back around, and does it kind of rotate around like that?
Well, the matches the mats are all set up so that you stay on your mat for the entire duel. So there's not actually a lot of moving around, and it's at Young Arena, which is a hockey rink, and so it does get noisy though. It's a great atmosphere here.
Well, let's talk about the Predicament's latest rankings. You'd also issued the latest state tournament and individual rankings across the state. And preseason-wise, a lot of talk about Bettendorf. They still have 12 wrestlers ranked, but team-wise, they fall to number 3, and it's back to the same old top 2 again. Iowa City West and of course Waverly Shell Rock 1-2 in Class 3A.
Yeah, those 3 teams appear to be real tight to me, depending on health and weight issues. Right now, I would say it's just kind of up in the air. Those 3 teams are very, very close.
Right here in this area, Southeast Polk, the Rams have really built some really good tradition, and I think after you look at those 3, they've got to be right there pretty close as well. Are they not, Wyatt?
They are very close. They just got a couple more holes that they need to fill, and by holes, I mean they're not ranked. They're not really a hole in the lineup because Coach Christensen over there at Southeast Polk has done a great job with that team down there.
Now, when you look at Class 2A, Wyatt, I think you'd probably say It's about anybody's race. I know that Davenport Assumption and Denver Topola have some outstanding kids on there at certain weight classes, but when you look at it, it's pretty balanced field. There's not a lot of teams with the numbers that you see in Class 4A as far as ranked wrestlers, which means to me it's going to be a lot more of a wide open race.
It appears to be that it would be a wide open race, but at the same time you have more schools in 2A than 3A, so you're spreading that wealth out a little bit more than the 3As, is why you have a few less ranked wrestlers. But Davenport Assumption looks real solid. And they're not here at the duels, but Denver Topola is, and they actually made the finals in that Pool B. They beat Mason City in that final bracket this morning, 37-30.
You're listening to Friday Night Live here on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio Network. A conversation with the Predicament's wrestling insider Wyatt Schultz. He's up there at the Battle of Waterloo, and as he alluded to, just a great weekend to wrap up things. Will there be any more matches next week after this, or most of these teams done for until after the Christmas break?
After this weekend, it'll be pretty much over till after the Christmas break. But I will say they're still wrestling right now. Waverly Shell Rock and West Des Moines Valley are wrestling right now in the final of Pool D. And Bettendorf and Linn-Mar are wrestling in the finals of the other pool. So, and the other two pools this morning, the finals are already done, which is Iowa City West and Denver Topola.
And if Denver Topola ever gets some bigger kids in there, their smaller weight classes are just dynamite, but they need to get some kids up there in the bigger weight classes, and they're going to be really dangerous this year.
Yes, they will. Actually, in that duel with Mason City, they were down, I believe it was 30 to 28 with 2 matches left. And they got a pin at 103 and a decision at 112 to pull that duel out over Mason City.
Right where
Mason City, Mason City's really looking good.
Well, Wyatt, we appreciate you taking time. Maybe next time we'll just get you right there on Matt's side, and you can give us a little, blow by blow.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you have a chance to get up here, this is a great dual tournament from teams all over the state.
Well, this is our last show of 2010. We appreciate how you support us and all you do for the great state of Iowa on the wrestling side of things. Have a very Merry Christmas, Wyatt, and a great weekend.
I will, and you guys have the same.
Thank you,
very
Wyatt.
much. Wyatt Schultz from the Predicament.